Today we're making cornbread to go along with our tailgate chili. This recipe is super easy, even though it has quite a few ingredients. The hardest thing about this recipe is making sure that you have everything laid out in front of you beforehand, so that way you're not reaching for things while you're cooking. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is mix all of our dry ingredients. I'm going to start with my flour. The recipe originally calls for half all-purpose flour and half whole wheat flour. We don't have access to whole wheat flour right now, so we're just using 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Next, I'm going to add my cornmeal, my sugar, salt, baking powder, and baking soda. I'm going to make sure they are whisked and fully incorporated. A good way to check is in these kind of bowls, I'm going to take a look underneath, make sure that it's mixed all the way. Once it's fully mixed, I'm going to set it to the side and get started on mixing my wet ingredients. So that's my creamed corn, my milk, buttermilk, oil, and also my corn. Even though it's not technically a wet ingredient, it goes in with the wet ingredients. And last but not least, our egg. I'm going to stir to combine. I want to make sure that there's no streaks of eggs in there, that all of the milks, all of the corn is fully combined. I'm going to move that to the side. Grab my dry ingredients. I'm going to create a well in the center. And all that means is that I'm moving all of the dry ingredients to form a little ring with space in the middle. Like so. Then I'm going to pour my wet ingredients into my dry ingredients. And stir to combine, slowly incorporating the outer ring with the middle section. I'm going to make sure again, take a peek underneath, make sure that it's fully incorporated before we move on. Good to me. I'm going to grab my skillet. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, use a baking pan. I have wiped down the inside of my cast iron skillet with a little bit of canola oil because I don't have cooking spray. If you have cooking spray, absolutely use that. I'm just going to move my mixture, my cornbread mixture, into my baking pan, and then I'm going to bake it for I'm going to bake it at 425 degrees until when I insert a toothpick in the middle, it comes out clean. So adding it to my skillet, making sure I get all of it. spreading it evenly, and then popping it into my preheated oven. Cornbread is finished when a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean.